Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Philippines, and all the Filipinos around the globe. Welcome to our September 3 episode of our Market Insights. We are going to talk about your favorite stocks. And thank you, guys, for those who have already posted their requests. I have them, and we are going to prioritize them in our review this morning. And what do we have for now? So we are going to have PX, HLCM, Tech, IRC, VLL, MEG, ABA, ALI, allhc, ISM, GEO, PHA, Nickel, ATN, and of course, for the others who will be joining, please go ahead and just drop a comment so we can recognize you. At the same time, we can also review your favorite stocks. Okay, so let us start with our analysis. What you see on my screen right now is the Investograms. This is the charting tool that many of us are using. This is totally free, and you can download this at the same time on your mobile phone. And uh, I will also use, of course, what you see here are, we don't have our indicators yet. We are going to use our Bollinger Band as our main indicator, okay? And actually, I already have that here. Let's use this because you can also save your favorite indicator so you don't have to set that up every single time. Okay, so this is the Bollinger Band, and right at the bottom is my RSI. And if you'd like to, of course, see detailed information about your stocks, you can just pull it up over here using these icons. Okay, and good morning, Thomas. Okay, I will add SM, and I already have ISM. Let me just adjust my microphone. Okay, all right. SM, let me add that. While we wait for the others to also join, we now have 11. Happy Tuesday, everyone. IDC for Derek. Good morning. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about PSEI. What can we say about PSEI? All right, so it broke the MA20 line, which is a good sign because we're now at the upper side of the Bollinger Band. So what I'm thinking is that it's just trying to stabilize, create a brand new support, because previously the support is around this area, right? Around the 7,900 area. And then it broke out of that support. And of course, normally it will stabilize first before it moves further up. Okay. And I'm bullish because we're in the Burr months now. And people have more money normally during the Burr months, and uh, more and more people are becoming interested in the stock market. So I'm thinking a lot of investors will be joining or will be investing during these months of the year. And let's start with the first request, and this is PX. Okay, so let's just hide this so we have a much bigger frame. And there you go. And hide it. There. Okay, so For PX, overall, we are starting to see a good movement on the upside. We're seeing some bullish movements, and there are some days where we see this stock resting, but overall, it respects the MA20. All right, for the newbies, what you are seeing here right now is a Bollinger Band. And this kind of indicator will show you the volatility of a particular stock. And right at the center here, the red line is our MA20 line, meaning the moving average in the past 20 days. Others can also set that differently, but I am only using the default of the Bollinger Band. So this means that um, an MA20 can act as a support, okay, and can also act as a resistance. When does it act as a support? It is a support when the stock is moving in an upward direction. It becomes a resistance when the stock is moving on a downward resistance. And so I've mentioned two terms now, support and resistance. When we say support, let me just plot that really quickly. A support is this one because the price stops at that level. It's like a floor, right? That's the lowest possible price that the market feels for this particular stock, and then it stops right there. Okay. And people feel at that point that when it reaches that level, it's starting to become cheap, and then they start buying. Now, a resistance is like a ceiling. So let me plot that as well. This is a ceiling. It's, by the way, it is an area. It is an area big. So when we plot that, it doesn't mean that when you see it right now, it's 4.09, right? But it doesn't mean that it is the exact price, but it is an area. So some people would plot their support and their resistance like a box. Okay, so it's all up to you. So a resistance, on the other hand, is like your ceiling. That each time it hits that ceiling, it bounces downwards. Okay, because people feel that that price is starting to become expensive. Okay, now, so 3 points I have just mentioned today. Moving average, which is the red line over here, you can set the color. A moving average that can act as a support and act as a resistance. A support is like your floor, a resistance is like your ceiling. Okay, so now let's talk about PX. PX has respected the MA20 line. So it's an area, so that means sometimes it overshoots on the downside or on the upside. So overall, we have seen a bounce at the MA20 line. So some people might take profit already because some of us here are traders. And the mentality of a trader is they get in and out of a stock multiple times in a day with just a very small profit. So some of them might have already entered at this level and will probably take some profit um, if this stock goes a little higher today. So um, a stock can either go on a, it can potentially reach the MA20 line and can also reach up to this level. It depends on the market sentiment. But my overall take here is that PX will most likely give us a more upward trend. But if the market gives us a chance to enter at the 3 point, let me just plot that around this area, 3.90 area or 3.91 area, then that would be the best entry price. Now, for example, this price goes higher than the current closing price, which is 4.01. Let us say it goes higher, okay? Let's say 4.05, and most of the action happens on the upside. Then we can potentially have a breakout play. So what you can do there, if that happens, you can plot a Darvas box. Okay, here, what you can do this, because this is um, the range, okay? So for example, this stock opens around 4 or 4.12. Technically, it gives us a gap up today. Then your condition is if it opens around 4.13 and moves further up, then that could also be a good entry price, because the concept is your previous resistance now will act as your support. So if that's the condition, if it opens above the 4.09 level around 4.13, 4.15, and then moves up, then go ahead. You may do a breakout play, but be extra careful. Normally, with that kind of play, it's best that you play it on a faster time frame, around 1, 3, or 5 minute time frame. Some people use 15 minutes, but definitely that's the game of the traders, and most traders use a faster time frame. Okay, let's proceed. HLCM also did. Okay, so for HLCM, what I see here is like an ascending triangle. Okay, it hits that resistance for multiple days, trying to break the ceiling, and it was successful yesterday. So I'm thinking it will create a brand new support this time around this area. So if you like to do breakout plays, then this is your game. All right. So what happened here? So if I am to draw from here to here, and then yesterday it broke that resistance. So it will most likely give us this kind of direction. Something to this effect here, and then it will stabilize back here before it moves up again. Okay, so that's the kind of pattern that I am potentially seeing. So if you can get near 14.76, that will be good. The next one is tech. For tech, we have been on a decline. So let's take a look at the weekly chart. We are on a decline for months now, since wow, almost a year. Uh, Almost 2 years now, right? January of 2018 to this day. So on a decline. So what happened here is that when it tried to make an attempt to reverse, but the MA20 line, which again we mentioned can act as a resistance, we were not able to successfully uh, break that resistance. So it went all the way down again. Now let us see how it looks like here. Okay. So still no signs, but hopefully, let's check this. See this part? It's trying to already make multiple stops around this area. But this stock has a history that, even if it makes an attempt to create a support, it breaks down. Revenue. So there's a negative 59%. The gross revenue is good, but the net income is not, right? So just still observe. I don't see any signs of reversal yet for tech. IRC. I'm looking at the weekly chart as well. It tried to make a support in this level, 1.32. Let's see how it looks like on the daily chart. Okay, on the daily chart, it hit the MA20, which again can act as a resistance. So we were not successful in breaking that. So the market rejected that kind of breakout. So it will potentially go back. So I'm seeing more downward movements for IRC. Next would be VLL. Okay. Good morning, Noli, Jen, and Tony. Hi, Alex. Good morning. And STI. Let's add STI for Tony. Okay. The next is VLL. Okay, for VLL, I'm actually seeing a resistance right here. So what I can do, so there are three areas of focus that I want us to have here. Of course, this one, okay, another one here. Now, if you want to get in the stock, because technically we're still in the consolidation phase here, right? So I have a feeling it will still give us a chance around the MA20 line. So if you're interested in this stock, try to get in around 7.57 area. And then, of course, the condition is most of the actions need to happen on the upside, right? But if it goes lower than that, and if you are trading this stock, make sure you set your stop loss levels. What do we mean when we say stop loss level? So that's your tolerable loss, that if it goes negative by 3% or by 5%, you're willing to sell your position because you know that it can potentially go further down. So if you are a trader, most traders set a stop loss because tendency is if it goes all the way down, we do not really know when is the next time it can potentially go back. So if the action happens on the downside for today, set your stop loss. But my recommendation is it's always safe to get in near the MA20 line whenever you have this kind of pattern. Now, in the event it goes further up, we might encounter another struggle or another challenge around this area because this will act as your resistance. Notice this price area was hit multiple times during these days, and these days. Okay, so I think it's safer to just get in near MA20 line. The next one is MEG. For MEG, okay, so let's look at the weekly chart for MEG. Overall, we are still at a cheaper level. Okay, so hopefully we have a green candlestick for this week. But we started the week with a red candlestick though. But we're in a weekly chart, so we're just starting the week and hopefully it gives us a good bounce. Now, in the daily chart, so this kind of candlestick, okay, so we had a dip, it retraced, and this kind of candlestick, if you're near the resistance, this is a shooting star. Actually, this is a bearish candlestick, but we can never tell today what the market sentiment is. Hopefully, we just have a slight retracement and it goes back again. Okay, so if the market gives us a chance at a much lower price, that's when you enter. But overall, we're still at a cheap level for MEG. but your next resistance could be around the 540, 539 area, of course, near the uh, MA20 line, right? So how far is this from the lowest point? Around the 6.47. So if you can haggle around this area, around 4.91 for your entry price, that would be good. Okay, or even the 4.79 level. That would be perfect. And let's talk about ABBA. For ABBA, okay, so ABBA made an attempt to break the MA20 line, so that was good last Friday, but we were not able to sustain that. That's why it broke down, and we have a bearish candlestick last Monday. So potentially there we'll expect some more red candlesticks in the coming days, because I think this is an engulfing candle because it's bigger. The body of the red candlestick is bigger than this one. So it was engulfing the green one. So second hint is that it ended lower than the MA20 line. So not a good sign. So potentially we'll have some more red days for ABBA. But if it stabilized, so sometimes it hits that, and it creates a confirmation on the previous support here. So hopefully it just stops there and then moves up again. So if you want to enter this stock, 0.73 area, 0.72, 0.73 would be the perfect area around this level. Okay, so those are your key areas of focus. How's everyone so far? Hi Rose, hi, good morning. Kakal, good morning. Benjamin. Yep, Grace. Perfect timing. We're in ABBA right now. Hopefully, you have not entered yet, because I think the market will still give us a chance at a much cheaper price for this stock. Noli, Alco, and PHA. All right. So, guys, just a heads up. I'm just adding all your requests, but I'll have a hard stop at 9:30 because I have a client meeting. I'm still at home, but we'll be dialing in. Insights for IRC, and this is for Paul. Okay. All right. Let's continue. ALI. Oh, we still have enough time. It's only 8:52. Good morning, everyone. Ali. Ali. For Ali, we are still at the support level. So again, your support is your floor. And looks like, so it hit this level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So again, it's an area. So, those candlesticks a little higher than that will pass. And brace yourself. I think the stock is about to move up once again, because we have a support right here, a straight line, and the end price today is around that level as well. But look how your RSI behaves. There you go. Straight line, but RSI is moving up, and that will mean we're nearing a reversal really, really soon. Okay, so again, Ali is Ayala Land Incorporated, another trusted company here in the Philippines. Next one is allhc. Okay, before I continue, guys, I'd also like to make one request for the first timers in our page. I have a channel, and I am Miss JD in YouTube. So what I would normally do, which is also a practice on my end, after this live is recorded, of course, it's recorded on Facebook. At the same time, I would also upload that here in YouTube. And the reason for that is once the market closes today, I review my analysis, which is what we're doing right now. I will review this and see if my analysis are correct. And those insights that are correct, then I would reinforce that in my trades as well. And what's good about, of course, attending the live, of course, you're ahead of the game, and reviewing it once again in YouTube, because in YouTube, and there is a way to increase the playback speed. And that way you can listen to it at a much faster rate and you can finish the entire recording faster. Okay, so those are the best practice. Now let's go back to our allhc. Allhc, okay, so we are on a downward direction for our allhc. Okay, so even if we say that, you know, your MA20 can act as a resistance on a downward direction, so it is still an area. Sometimes it hits the line exactly right on the spot, but sometimes it goes a little lower. Okay, so just check this one out. You can even plot a downward a resistance that's on a downward direction, because that's also a behavior of a stock. When a stock is on a downward direction, the the oops our resistance and the support can also move on a downward direction. Oh, my mouse is really possessed. Okay, so just that. So if normally it's not good to trade against a direction, right? Because here in the Philippines, we only go long, meaning we only trade stocks that are uh, we don't sell, meaning we don't short. Because in the U.S. you can bet on a stock that's on a downward direction, but here we only bet on an upward direction. So in this case, you will have to wait for a stock to go near the support and then buy that area. Okay, so that at least you can still buy it at a much lower price and then sell it when it goes up. Okay, so buy low, sell high. So that's long. Okay, when you hear the word long, that means you're buying it low, selling it high. When you hear the word shorting or you short it, you buy high and you sell low. But in the Philippines, we only buy low and sell high. So in this case, you still have to wait for it to go further down. And then if it reaches near your green line, which is your support when a stock is on downward direction, you buy it near the support and then sell it near a resistance. LHC, as you see here, will potentially move further down. So wait for it to reach near support before you buy the stock. ISM. ISM has ISM awakened after a long time. So we're bullish for ISM. It has already crossed above the MA20 line. So hopefully, if this will give us a red candlestick, hopefully it stops right at the 5.12 area. Okay, creating a brand new support now. So that's your MA20 level. And for those who already have a position here, don't give up. Your stock is about to face some more upward direction or some more bullish moves. Geo. Geo. Okay, so Geo is starting to create a support around this level. Let me create a line around this level. Okay, so hopefully it doesn't break. Otherwise, your next area of focus would be your MA20 line. There you go. So let us see if our Fibonacci also tells us the same story. So what is a Fibonacci? A Fibonacci gives us an idea on where your key areas will be. So these areas are your possible bounce areas, right? So we're right. Yeah, that should be fine. So we're close. So hopefully we have a good bounce in this area, right? The green line and the white line, that's still close, as well as here. But your condition in Fibonacci is, if we can still say that a stock is still in an upward direction if the bounce happens within um, these areas, and the lowest would be 0.618. Okay, but if it breaks the 0.618 line, then that would mean you now have a downward direction. So hopefully this is already it. It has given us a bounce right here in this level. But if you still want to get in the stock, wait for it, or yeah, wait for the price to reach this level once again. At least you can make the most out of your investments. Next one is PHA. 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 Hmm. So the condition here, so let's observe PHA first, okay? So this could be a good support if most of the action happens on the upside. But if the price starts lower than this, lower than 0.58, and most action starts to happen on the downside, then that means we're not safe. We will have some downward moves. Okay, so but just be vigilant on the first 30 minutes right after the market opens. Okay, first 30 minutes, because that normally dictates the direction of the stock throughout the day. So the 0.58 is your key area of focus. And nickel did a, was this a ceiling play yesterday? So I was trying to review the analysis last night, and I said nickel gave us some bullish moves last Friday. So if you can haggle near the MA20 line to get to enter, blah, 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 I said that. But the market didn't give us a chance. Unstoppable. So it jumped up right away. So that automatically says a lot. That means we had a breakout play yesterday. Now, I would have to say, and this is just me, of course, talking about my profile, okay? Because my profile dictates that should only be a position trader, because I cannot watch the market full time. And those people who will still be playing this stock, make sure you play it at a faster time frame. Here, 135, around that level. Okay. Now, if you, let's say, convert this on a 3-minute chart, of course, the pricing, the intervals between price or per candlestick would be different compared to a daily chart, right? But the concept is still the same. Here, you still have your MA20 line, your upper band, your lower band. Okay, so make sure you observe, because we don't want you guys to be victimized once again. Um, you know, buying this stock at the no, at an expensive price, and then only to realize you're already buying it at a resistance, because people will be selling it. And there are a lot of stocks where you see, let's have an example, PPG for instance. Okay, massive move, and then it gave you some more gain at the start of the market, moved up and down, and then there you go, uh, profit taking the next day. Same with SOC. SOC over here. Massive move, but same day, a lot 50% of the buyers took profit, and then it only ended halfway, and then more downward direction. So this, just be very extra careful, because massive movements within a day can normally give us some retracements the following day. Okay, time check, 9:05. Perfect. How's everyone so far? Hello, Marcus. Good morning. Okay, so guys, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. Okay, and let's continue. ATN. ATN. Okay, hopefully with ATN, this is already a support. Okay, so it hit the MA20 line and then it bounced up. So hopefully, but we're not sure yet, of course. Hopefully, this just gives us a support right at the MA20 line, because this has been on a sideways, right, for a long time. Sideways, not totally, but a lot of downward moves for ATN the past months. But look at this overall, right? So the direction here was on a decline, but your RSI was on an upward direction. Oops. Let me go back to that. Over here. Hold on. Okay, do you see that? Your RSI is giving us an upward direction. And true enough, it made us a lift, but only up to this level, went down, and then hopefully it creates a support around this area and gives us a good bounce, right? Next one would be SM. For SM, okay, very gradual moves for SM. And of course, this is part of the index, another blue chip company. So most of our participants here are investors, and slow movement, but of course, you'll never go wrong with this. But if I am to recommend, just get in near the MA20 line, then at least you could still haggle around right now 18 pesos. If the market gives us a chance, though. Okay, but my recommendation, it's always best to enter MA20 line. Okay, Q2 earnings 22.55% from the previous one. There you go. And on a regular basis, of course, this stock gives us a dividend. Next one, IDC. For IDC, okay, so not a good sign. See that? It broke the MA20 line. But guess what? You were already given some signals last week. So when the price is moving up, so we said that when the price is moving up, and then your RSI is already giving us a downward direction over here, then any moment from now, a stock can reverse. And yes, slowly, it gave you that signal that we're now moving in a downward direction, and then boom, yesterday, massive downward movement. So when hopefully it stabilizes around this area, okay, so that's the support that I'm seeing. Second price would be this level. That's the second price that I see. So see what the price action is around that area. Let's see if there's a bounce, but if it breaks that line, then the next line would be this one. Okay, and that's IDC. STI. For STI, same thing. It tried to, make an attempt to break the MA20 line, but it resisted. So we're expecting some more downward movements for STI. Alco. For Alco, okay, hopefully Alco is now starting to, gain some more power before a bullish move. Slowly, we're already here near support, but a lot of greens. So let's just hope this stock gives us another green candlestick. But your nearest resistance would always be, of course, as we mentioned earlier, your MA20 line. There. So that would be your key areas of focus. Here for your entry and here for your exit. Some people will, let's say, for example, a price reaches that level, they would partially sell it so that they can still have enough volume or shares to ride the wave in case the price goes higher than that. The next one is PHA. Oh, we're done with that. What about IRC? For IRC, is this it? IRC resisted the MA20 line. So this acted as your resistance and then it went downwards. And so what I can say here is that we'll have some more downward movements for IRC. Now watch what happens when you see the price reach this level. Okay, hopefully it gives us a bounce. Once you see a confirmed green candlestick settling around this area, then that would mean, hey, we're already are experiencing a potential bounce in the coming days. Okay, so do we have any other requests? PXP, have I talked about that? Not yet. So this is for you, Lester. And tugs, okay, sure. So let's talk about PXP first. PXP has triggered the lower Bollinger Band, so we're sitting right below the Bollinger Band. So I will be a little careful when the market or when the price is at this level because we might experience some more downward movements. And what I see here is that, okay, so previous resistance, right? Previous resistance can potentially act as your support. But sometimes, the market gives us a chance halfway here, probably this area, who knows, right? But let's still wait because I'm seeing that potentially we'll have some more red candlesticks in the coming days. But hopefully it stabilizes here. A green candlestick would be good because look, it stopped right there. So let's just put the line right here, okay? Where it is right now. So your condition is the price has to start, let's say, at the same level, 11.46, and most of the action happens on the upside on the first 30 minutes. Then that way we can say, okay, so it looks like we're having a bounce. But if most action happens on the downside, then, wait for it at this level, and then that's where you enter. And tugs. For tugs, okay, what do you call this candlestick? It's like a doji. Now, see, it gave you a chance in this area yesterday. I would still stick to that. Wait for the price to reach this level if you really want to get in. And of course, if you're in it as a trader, then set your stop loss. Ideally around 3 to 5% if you're okay with that margin for your cut loss levels. Cut loss once you reach 3 to 5% and then move forward. Now hopefully it gives us a starting price around 1.73 and most of the action happens on the upside, but let's still wait and see. Okay. Now, I okay, so SMC. Okay, let's see. Noli, CHP, and PPG. I reviewed PPG earlier, but let me just check. CHP first. CHP and PPG. CHP. Okay, so hopefully this crosses the MA20 line today, right? Starts above 3.11, and then most action happens on the upside. Otherwise, I I will wait for it around here, around that level for me to get in. Okay, but we're starting to trigger the MA20 line, so hopefully this gives us some more bullish moves. Next would be PPG. For PPG, it's starting to create a brand new support around this level. Okay, so did some sideways over here, actually a little higher now, so hopefully we already have reached a bounce for this stock. Let's just adjust it a little higher. Okay, but if the market gives us a chance around 7.38, around that area or slightly higher that area, so I think you're entering near a support level for PPG. But hopefully it goes back up because I'm sure a lot of you guys have entered here. So this is like 11%. Let's say you enter around here, that would be 4.73. Yeah. From 7.34 to 7.68 are my safe lines. And who do we have next? SMC from Rose. SMC, okay, it's giving us a chance here at the MA20 line. So if you can enter at the MA20 line, so that would be great. Hopefully that sustains and bounces back up here. Overall, I see a sideways movement for SMC. For it has been a long time now. Some spikes on the upside, but most of the time action is happening just on a sideways. Okay, and that's SMC for Rose. I'm logging our review so it's easy later on to go back to it and review. Did you check JFC? Not yet, Rose. Let me first check C and then JFC, okay? C and then JFC. And the C is for Thomas. C. C has already crossed the MA20 line, so you're at a good level. Now, if you have not entered in this stock, wait for it to reach near the MA20 line if it still gives us a chance. Otherwise, the nearer you are, the better. But what I can say here is that let me just draw my ascending triangle. So I think this has broken out of the ascending triangle. So let me put that here. So see that. So that's a good sign. Uy, I wasn't supposed to do that. There. Okay. So if this stock continues to give us, let's say, a starting price around the 726, 724 to 726 and moves up for today, I would have to say we now have a brand new support around this level. Okay. And the condition is the action has to happen above that resistance line. Okay. Because again, concept wise, your previous resistance in an upward trend will now be your new support. So those are your key areas. Okay, hopefully it doesn't break this one. So just set your stop loss once the price goes lower than that, lower than the uh, diagonal line here. Okay, and then for JFC, Guys, don't forget to subscribe to Miss JD. Okay, we are Miss JD, and this is also going to be uploaded in YouTube. And if you want to go back to it and review our analysis, cross-referencing the price after the market closes, uh, either way, you have a choice. If you're comfortable in going back to the recording in Facebook, that's fine. But in YouTube, you can adjust the playback speed. So that's why whenever I review my work, every single day, I go to YouTube right after. Now, we're still at the resistance level for JFC. Okay. Previous support became a resistance here. So hopefully, if the price gives us a starting, if we have a starting price higher than this level and most action happens on the upside, then good. We now have a confirmed uptrend for this one. But this is a good sign starting to, of course, break that. But, we're not on the safe zone yet. So if it goes down, which is just a little fine because JFC is for long term, most of us are in it for long term. Wait for it to reach this level again because it might stabilize around that area. This is your entry price. And if you're in it as a trader, enter here, exit here. If you see that, there's a bearish candlestick and you know that it will not break that anyway, enter here and exit here. Okay, but if the price starts above it and most action happens on the upside, then you have some more bullish moves in the coming days for JFC. Okay, and good morning, Victor. Okay, so also, guys, one more. I'm also in eToro. And I'm actually more active in eToro. I'm able to trade US stocks because again, my profile suggests that I should only be more active during the night. And in fact, I don't really watch it by the minute because I can set my stop loss and take profit area. Okay, so if you want, you can create your own account here. You can follow me, or you can even follow people here, see how they're performing. And if you check my stats, so I've created this account a long time ago, but I started really becoming active last June, and so far our stats are looking good. Crossing our fingers, we hopefully we can end the year with a lot of green months. And really really cool. If you want, if you would like to join this, I can share my link. You can create an account here, you can use my link so that when you fund your account, look right here, once your friend joins and makes a deposit, they will receive $50 from us. And of course, that's your gift. eToro will also give me a gift, which is $50 as well. So let me share this to you guys. You can create an account, or you don't really have to fund it right away. You can even play with the virtual side of eToro before you fund it with your real money. Okay, so I think that is it for now, guys. I have 7 minutes to set up. I have a meeting at 9:30, and we'll be at work around 1 in the afternoon today. Okay, but I'll dial in from home from my meeting. Okay, thank you guys for joining us today, and see you again tomorrow for another episode of our Market Insights. And share this video to your friends so that we can influence more and more people to engage in the stock market, because they just find it hard. But the truth is if you really show interest in it, it can be done. It's not that complicated. Okay, thank you. You have a great day ahead. Thank you. Bye bye.